Questions and answers, please. Oh. Discrimination against your brother, they just ignore it. I'm 6.6% black, by the way. I'm a brother, 6.6%. I just want you to all know that. Don't give me shit.
Thank you very much,
Oh, yeah, okay. You shamed him into it. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Executive MBA, studying here at University of Greenwich Business School. From this presentation, I've sensed there's a lot of common theme about limiting beliefs, fears, and conformity.
Correct.
Are the main issues. What advice would Dan tell his 20-year-old self about where he would invest or spend the next 10 years of his life in a particular market?
I said it in several different places, okay. If you speak French, go to Haiti. Learn Arabic. If you speak Farsi, go to Iran. If you speak Spanish, go to Cuba. If he doesn't pull the plug in those places. Where there's chaos. I mean, did you hear there's going to be 1,000 billionaires in Saudi Arabia made in the next 3 to 5 years? There's only 4,000 or 2 or 3,000 now. But see, you won't learn Arabic. You're not willing to make that sacrifice. I told all the Poles, leave fucking Poland. You're dead. You're dead meat. And the things, healthcare and telco, stroke, internet, have been the 2 areas that I've been telling people for 35 years. Rick Scott, the current governor of Florida, the founder of the largest healthcare company in the history of the world, Columbia Healthcare, he asked me the same question 35 years ago, and I told him, healthcare, telco. He said, healthcare it is. The 3 or 4 preliminaries. Yeah, part of the story I didn't remember. He says, but the rest of it, he says, he agrees with what I say. Healthcare, people like me don't want to die, so we'll spend inordinate amounts of money on staying alive. 75% of all the money you spend on healthcare your whole life is spent in the last year of life. 75% of all the money you spend on healthcare is spent the last year of life. There's a reason. But I mean, to go into the city and get a high-paying job, that's bullshit. If you want to create, well, not everybody wants to create wealth. A lot of people want to work 40, 41, 42 hours a week, want to have 2.6 kids with a house and a wife and pension. God bless you. But if you want more out of life, and you want to stretch yourself, and you want to be all you can be, then there got to be sacrifices. I don't know one high performer that works less than 100 hours a week. And isn't tough as nails. And by the way, 90% of all high performance people are alpha males. Only 2% of them are. 90% of them are little weenies just like you. But they know how to pull the trigger. They're weenies that can pull the trigger. So the really operative difference is whether you can pull the trigger or not, meaning taking action. And the kids today, with spreadsheet shit to death. I mean, just overanalyze, and because you don't want to pull the trigger. You don't want to pull the trigger. You know, I told somebody here, the first seminar I gave in May 1993 was 18 hours long. My whole concept in 18 hours. 4 or 5 hours Q&A. So it was almost 24 hours. 5 of my Hall of Famers were at that first seminar. It was brought to my attention by Bruce Whipple, who was one of them. 5 guys in that first seminar. From that first seminar, of course they didn't have internet, and they never read another book. I hadn't written a book yet until I wrote a book. Because I told the personal development story a little differently then than I tell it now. But when I screamed ran away 25 years ago, it would scare people. I'm not here to not scare you now. I'm trying to scare you into taking some goddamn action. Get your thumb out your ass. either that or just, if you're not willing to make the sacrifice, then admit it and just say, I'm not going to do this bullshit anymore. Look at all the free time you have to quit listening to those fucking podcasts and just think. It's not reading the books. It's not doing spreadsheets. Answer your question? Okay, next.
Nice to meet you. Last speech I came from Romania for this. There's some of the from Romania.
Okay. What's your pleasure?
What's your take on cryptocurrencies?
I'm like the world prince of Saudi Arabia, Warren Buffett, and a lot of other smart people. I have nothing to do with it. I'm not saying it's not the next box to turn shit into gold, but there's no regulation. I don't like it. And now I monkeys. I got at least 25 or 30 mentees of mine that are starting on crypto funds. They can't even spell crypto or fund. Most of them are engaging in securities fraud, and they're too stupid to find out, even though it's securities fraud. They're all going to go to jail. So that's my answer on crypto. When Warren Buffett and 5 of the 7 smartest people that ever made money on the planet, are in agreement, that should leave a clue to you. Yeah.
The moment you made the decision to become a public speaker or coach, how long before that was becoming that speaker or that coach?
I never made a decision to do that. I failed public speaking in college, I failed public speaking in high school, and I got a D in public speaking the second time I took it in college, university. I found it when I was on Wall Street, an easier way to sell was to sell the boots like this as opposed to one-on-one. So I was one of the founders of financial planning. And so I gave 200 talks, about 140 of them were worth of shit. There were a few plates at me, rolls, but you know, I've been a world-class speaker for at least 25 years, but I made 1,000 bad speeches. I tell all the kids, go to Toastmasters, go to improv, and improve your communication skills. As I said on the slide earlier, 85% of success in life and business is basically communication skills. And you only have one time to make a first impression. About 3/4 of you are dressed, I wouldn't even let you in my office. And I'm not saying you came dressed for that, but I'm just telling you. Maybe more than 3/4. I wouldn't let you even in the garage. You couldn't park. You only have one time to make a first impression. And the first words out of your fucking mouth are the most important. Practice, 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 and then practice some more. If I practice 20 hours to give this fucking talk to you fucking imbeciles, and I could give it with 250 calories in my chest, but I'm a professional. And most of you don't have professionals as models. You have the opposite thereof. Not just your parents, but the guys you hang with. All losers. So if you hang with losers, what are you going to be? My mother used to say, you go to bed with dogs and get up with fleas. What she really meant is you go to girls that aren't hygienically clean, you get syphilis and gonorrhea. That's what she really said. She didn't use those words. And she was right, that was good advice then, and it's still good advice. But I come from before condoms and before AIDS. So I just want to make that clear. I would know a condom well, I don't want to. I said that at a talk. I said that at a talk one time when somebody threw one right here. And he moves away and it's a shiny little wrapper thing, and I can figure out what it was. But I'm not suggesting you be promiscuous or anything. I'm just telling you I come from a different era. I come from a different era. I have a friend when you did I can tell you that. Next question.
Just grab my attention because I don't know what to give it to.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Peña. I just want a quick question. Are you going to stay after us for the drinks or are you heading somewhere? I want to ask you another question. So.
Well, ask me.
What is the best way to get a mentor now in London? Is it you?
Okay, no. LinkedIn. Aren't you going to ask me? I'm going to answer now. What do all my big hitters do? The big fucking hitter. What do they do? They give it all their social media and they connect on LinkedIn. They don't connect, they sign up. No Facebook, no nothing. See a lot of dead faces out there. Okay. Number two, they walk, they standing desk. Standing desk. That's where we stand up. Number three, they walk on a treadmill on the standing desk. The ideal speed is 4 kilometers an hour. Next, they work out every day, something. Either cardio or weights. Some do both, at least 5 days a week. Having drinking or not drinking has nothing to do with having food. I mean, they try to eat healthy, but they don't eat like a vegetarian or vegan. They just try to eat healthy. They don't want to waste the calories. It's probably the modern way of saying it. They don't want to waste the calories. I don't drink at home. My wife makes me drink when I travel. Raise your hand. It's true. Yeah, it is. Because they're wasting calories. The older you get, the harder it is to burn sons of bitches off. But so, I mean, I normally gain 5 to 8 pounds when we're on the road a week or two. And it takes me a goddamn 6 weeks to get it off when I go back home. Did I answer your question? Yeah, okay, next.
We haven't got much time for more questions. So I just want to close with a final one. Just because you talk about parenting a lot and how our parents influence us. I personally do understand that both of my parents are not high performers, and they told me the way they knew. But what would it give me if I blamed them?
No, I'm not telling you to blame them. What I'm telling you is, don't make excuses for them. You can't blame them. You are where you are. I mean, I can't help you for every day before this evening. But I sure shit can. If you go on and don't make any changes in your life, then you shouldn't come here tonight. Go back and listen to one of the guys' podcasts. But if you're really serious, and money's not everything, it's the only thing anybody keeps track of. But if you want to save the goddamn world, go make a gin. By the way, there's only one formula, not one. The easiest formula to make a baby. Change the lives of 1 billion people. And by definition, you'll make billions. Mark Zuckerberg is a classic example. Change the lives of 1 billion people, and you'll make $1 billion, and then you can go save the goddamn world. I'm changing the world through you, melonheads. And I created a lot of billions, and I'm ashamed to say a lot of my devotee mentees want to save the damn world. They didn't get it from me, I assure you that. But I mean, it's in your DNA if you're a certain age. If you're a certain age. Our children don't want to save the world because they were listening to me since they were in the mama's tummy. So, and I wasn't for saving the world then, and I sure as I'm not for saving it now. But I'll help you save the world. That's great. But don't expect me to save the world. I don't mind helping you kids save the world. That's great. It's greater for my legacy. See, I'm selfish. Your parents told you not to be selfish. There's hardly anybody I ever talked to that says, my parents told me to be selfish. Well, my parents didn't tell me to be selfish, but I knew. I left my family and went to Europe. And I'm from a Hispanic background. Familia is everything. When I left, they hated me. But I knew, and I had high performance in my family. School teacher, maybe you were a principal of a school. Policeman, fireman. We had one PhD in education. That's it. I made more money last month than my whole family since Moses. And they all live good lives, But I mean, they don't live like that. Maybe you don't want to live like I do. I know Sally and I, we're certainly not going to give up our lives now anytime soon. Ever. prawns online. But you go find an idea. And let me tell you something about apps. I forgot that. There's only about 25 to 30 apps that have ever made any money since the beginning of apps. You know, app. And everybody in this room has got an idea for a fucking app. 25 million apps have never made a nickel. You know why you want to come up with an idea? Because it's a lazy man's way to riches. That's the only reason. I'm going to tell you another bit of advice. You know the big boys, and I have 4 of the top 6 internet producing revenue kids on the net right now. I train them. They make 3 to 7 million a month! A month! You know how much the big boys spend when they test something? You think? $500 to $1,000. If it doesn't gain traffic in 500 or 1,000, they shit can it. They shit can it. And some of you in this room, I can just tell by the looks on your face, have been working on those fucking things for days, weeks, months, even years to make it work. If it doesn't draw traffic, if you don't get impressions, if you don't get conversions, next! Those are the big boys. See, you don't know any big boys. You've never talked to anybody that makes 10 million a month on the internet. You would know them if they shit on your foot. You got some moron that's got a blog or a goddamn podcast. The only money, the guys that make money are the guys that are trying to teach you how to make money. Because they fail.
Thank you very much.